If you have around 1300 USD to spend and you want a very good gaming system, you came to the right place. I will show you the best PC that you can build at around this price point that will give you high FPS at 1440p and 4K resolution. So there's no game that you can't run at 1440p high to ultra settings or 4K. I will show you the exact level of performance that you can expect with this system, and I'll try to explain every component as simple as possible. The link to this PC will be down below in the video description with the latest pricing and availability in your region. My name is Valentino. That being said, let's start. So first, let's talk about the most important components here, the CPU and GPU. Now for the CPU, you get a Ryzen 7 7700X, which is an amazing 8-core processor that will allow you to play CPU demanding games like Fortnite competitive settings or just any esports shooter at very high frame rates. So if you want, you can fit a 1440p 360Hz monitor in case you want to compete, or a 4K 240Hz one. Now in terms of high GPU demanding titles, well, here you get the newest RX 9070 XT from AMD, so you can expect very high frame rates at 1440p resolution, and I'm talking about well over 130 FPS on average, and then at 4K you can expect a very strong level of performance as well, and I'm talking about over 80 FPS on average. So if you want to play games like Cyberpunk 2077, The Last of Us Part 1, or just any of the latest high demanding games, you will be able to do so with a very strong performance. You can of course play at 1080p if you want even higher frame rates, but I would recommend you at least a 1440p monitor for this system. For the rest of the components, you get an aftermarket RGB CPU cooler that's going to be amazing to cool down the Ryzen 7 7700X. You get 32 GB of DDR5 memory with very fast speeds, so you get an amazing level of streaming performance and content creation as well, in case you want to do more than just gaming. And by the way, talking about gaming, you can also play with ray tracing enabled, because the 9070 XT from AMD is much more improved when it comes to ray tracing compared to previous AMD graphics cards. And if you want to play with FSR 4, which is the updated scaler from AMD, you will be achieving even higher frame rates in the most high demanding games at 4K resolution. For 1440p, you will not need to turn on FSR 4, but of course you can do so as well if you want more frame rates at 1440p. Then you get a very good quality power supply, so you don't have to worry about your PC shutting down randomly or anything like that. And then you get a cooler master case that's great in terms of price to performance, because you get plenty of airflow. Now the total price for this system by the time of filming is around 1300 USD, so if you have this budget, I do believe that this system is going to be the best one that you can get in the entire market if you want the best price to performance for gaming. And it's all going to depend on whether or not you can get the 9070 XT at MSRP. That's why I highly recommend you checking the latest pricing and availability for that graphics card down in the video description. Now if you have a bit of extra money to spend, I do recommend you upgrading the storage, because I went with 1TB of SSD, which is enough for most people. But if you need more storage because maybe you're a content creator, or maybe you want to install a bunch of new games, which trust me when I say they are heavy, then having 2TB is going to be better. And then I also recommend you upgrading the case to the Monte King 65 Pro. I love this case, it's a very good quality case and it's not that much more expensive. So if you add the better case and you add the extra storage, the total price will be around 1370 bucks. Again, the price might be higher or a bit lower when you're watching this. On the other hand, if you have less money to spend and you want similar performance, I recommend you downgrading the CPU to the Ryzen 5 7600, which is an amazing value processor that's going to be just fine with the RX 9070 XT. Now, if you play high CPU demanding games, or you want to play any esports shooters and you need every frame that you can get, then downgrading this doesn't make sense, because you want to get more frame rates. But if you play games like Cyberpunk 2077 high to ultra settings, even at 1440p or 4K, then it's not going to make that big of a difference going from a 7700X to a Ryzen 5 7600. And it's more power efficient, so you don't need as much cooling. That's why going with a cheaper aftermarket CPU cooler is going to make sense. And then the price is going to drop below 1200 USD. And you still get the 9070 XT, so you still get top tier performance when it comes to high demanding games at 1440p and 4K, or esports shooters, just not as great, because then you need every FPS that you can get. And also keep in mind that the Ryzen 5 7600 has 6 cores, and for gaming this doesn't matter as much, but if you're a content creator, depending on the programs that you use, this might be a deal breaker for you. But overall, for most people suitable for gaming, going with this system is going to be a cheaper option and you're going to be getting very similar performance compared to the main PC. So it's amazing to finally see that you can get really high FPS PCs for high resolutions at this price point again, but I must say this again, only if you can get the graphics card at MSRP, because otherwise the PC would be much more expensive. So remember that you will have the latest pricing and availability from the links down below, and in the top link in the video description you can find my personal PC help in case you want me to help you out find the right system, whether it's a pre-built PC or a PC build. I will find the perfect PC for your budget and needs. Thank you for watching and I will see you on the next one.